How's it going, nerds? My name is Linkwood, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, The Case of the Mummy's Curse. Now, I bought this on Steam because it was Sherlock Holmes related, and I like Sherlock Holmes, so I thought, why not? And I'm gonna play it for you guys, we're gonna see what's going on. So, yeah. We're not gonna need all of this, we're just gonna play the game. Begin a new game. With the Latin lit sitting room at 221B Baker Street, Sherlock Holmes slowly takes a pull from his pipe. A pull? A pull. Well, Dr. Watson, reclining after a bit of tea, pursues a discarded copy of the London Times.
What rubbish! What balderdash!
You must have read something terribly disturbing, Watson, for you to be so overwrought this early in the morning.
Indeed, Holmes. It's irresponsible of the Times to play upon people's superstitions.
Ah, you must be referring to the affair of the mummy's curse.
Has the entire city in an uproar. 3 men dead, and they expect us to believe that a 4,000-year-old mummy was the murderer. I'm surprised you haven't taken some interest in this case, Holmes.
To the contrary, my dear Watson. I have made some inquiries. Because I dare say I do believe this murderer is a much younger chap.
So what we do is check the newspaper. Okay. Da 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 da. What's this?
2 hours later.
So I did some research, and there were some people wanted to check out. One of them was Ellis Henry. Watson hails a carriage as he and Holmes proceed to the offices of the London Times. Surely Ellis, the editor of the Times, will have some interesting news regarding this case.
It's quite amusing, all this hoopla over a mummy's curse, I must say. Not so amusing, of course, the murder of 3 Englishmen.
Have any of your reporters uncovered anything new?
Actually, I've been in Paris the past several weeks. Just returned to London on Tuesday. I've had no involvement with the writing of any of these articles. I believe they are all the work of Philip Travis. He's one of our young reporters. For a short time, he was the Egyptian correspondent.
Was he sacked?
No. He returned to London just a few days ago. I gather he was reassigned to cover the case from here because he had some familiarity with the murder in Egypt.
Do you know Travis?
No, never actually met the chap, although I hear he's a bit of an odd duck.
Thanks for your help, Henry.
Anytime. Let me know when you catch the mummy. That's one scoop I'd like to get.
Okay. Next, I wanted to check out... Where is it? London University. Watson states the office when he recommends a trip to the Egyptology department is in order. Holmes commends the good doctor and ushers him out the door into the fading sunlight.
Such a tragedy. Fine men all, and such outstanding scholars. I still can't quite get over the shock of it.
We understand.
Professor, we're looking for background information on these 3 men so that we can understand how their murders might tie together.
Well, let me begin with Dr. Turnbull. Ebenezer Turnbull was responsible for organizing the Carteret expedition. Quite a remarkable man, really. This was the first time he teamed up with James Windibank. Professor Windibank was one of our most popular lecturers. In fact, several of his former students were also eager to accompany him. I recall him saying that he was having difficulty choosing. Weatherby turned out to be the lucky one. Though it seems far from it now, doesn't it? I suppose Smith and Travis turned out to be the lucky ones after all.
Smith and Travis?
Peter Smith accepted the invitation to join another expedition. As for Philip Travis, he was quite keen on accompanying Professor Windibank. In fact, he became exceedingly upset when Andrew Weatherby, a postgraduate student in the department, was chosen instead. Took it rather personally, I should say.
Here it is. Weatherby. Weatherby, Watson asks as Holmes reaches for the deerstalker hat. The great detective reminds the good doctor of the articles in the paper and the unfortunate demise of Andrew Weatherby.
I'm very sorry to intrude on you in your moment of grief.
Oh, that's quite all right. You know, Andrew and I hadn't been married very long.
Long enough to know if he had any enemies?
Oh, Andrew was so unassuming. Everyone liked him.
Including Mr. Urubaru?
I really loved my husband.
I'm sure you did. Oh, English toffee. My favorite.
Would you like one?
Please.
Sorry, you'll have to open this yourself. I've never been any good with these things.
There was one more I was looking for. I don't really know exactly where it would be. Notes. Dr. Watson learns about the time of the mummy is supposedly responsible for the man's death. He does not reveal the names, but they are certainly listed in the articles. Senate regular, blah, blah, blah. We did that. Holmes and Watson visit. Then walked to Lawrenceville University. Check out these interesting fellows. Believing the ship company could provide a valuable clue to their case, Holmes sent 3 irregulars to Jardine, Mason, and Co. The guy wouldn't give us the list of the passengers, so we stole it. Miss Hudson dropped it in your notebook for us. She did. What did we get from that? There's a covered list of these. Philip Travis. Why do I know that name? Would it be in T's? Travis. Here it is. Sitting regular. Watson S. Toes were drawn tight. Heard some weird chanting. I think I did. Okay, after doing some hard research, I think I'm finally ready to fully check in and see. Like, I can go to the judge and answer the questions. Helen Watson lives 221 Baker Street and hurried to the Queen's Court to present their case before the magistrate.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Queen's Court now stands in order. Mr. Holmes, I understand you've been looking into the mummy murders.
Yes, my lord.
Tell me then, who was Ebenezer Turnbull's murderer? And what makes you so certain? What was Travis' motive for killing Turnbull?
Turnbull publicly lambasted Travis for questioning the doctor's credentials.
And what of Andrew Weatherby? Who murdered him?
The same dude.
So, you say Travis killed Turnbull and Weatherby?
Yes, I believe he did, my lord.
But what was his motive to kill Weatherby, Mr. Holmes?
Travis was angry that Weatherby was chosen for the expedition instead of himself.
Ah, revenge. The oldest motive in the book. Now, Mr. Holmes, who killed James Windibank?
Again, Philip.
This Travis seems to be quite a busy fellow. What made him kill James Windibank?
Windibank did not choose him for the expedition.
Well done. I applaud your deductive skills.
Thank you very much.
You will make a fine detective for Scotland Yard one day. However, you will have to do much better if you wish to match the sleuthing expertise of Mr. Holmes.
Rude.
Not bad, I dare say. We're not too far off, are we?
What was Holmes' solution? Well, I talked with my son about the whole mummy business as far as clue points go. Here's how you did.
Well, Watson, I believe this case is solved. And for your information, it was not the mummy.
Come, come, Holmes. I never thought for a moment it was the mummy.
Of course not, Watson. However, the murderer and the mummy did have one thing in common.
What's that?
They both were the only ones present at the time of the murders, except, of course, the victims.
You state the obvious, Holmes.
Ah, but it is seeing the obvious that is important. First, I saw no reason to assume that we were dealing with more than one murderer. Secondly, the locations of the murders limited the number of suspects.
Limited them? The first murder was in Egypt, the second on ship in the middle of the sea, and the third in London. You call the entire populations of London and Egypt a limited number of suspects?
No, Watson. We had to find someone who was in Egypt for the first murder, on the ship for the second, and in London for the third.
Oh, but of course.
According to the newspapers, the Eastern Empress was in Bombay at the time of Ebenezer Turnbull's murder, so that eliminated the ship's crew as suspects. Thus, I needed the list of passengers who boarded the ship at Cairo. It was our visit to Jardine, Mason and Company that provided our first critical clue. From it, I learned that Philip Travis was a passenger. I then learned that Travis was the chap who reported on the first murder. He became one suspect, but I had no motive. Clarissa Weatherby, who was also at the scene of the murder in Cairo, was another possible suspect, since she appears to have had a bit of a dalliance with Mr. Uruburu there on the high seas. So I had found her motive for the murder of Weatherby, but not a motive for the murder of the others.
Then whom did you eliminate?
Mrs. Weatherby. Her hands were not strong enough even to open a jar of English toffee, let alone strangle a grown man.
And what of Travis's motive?
It seems that Travis was a student in the Egyptology department at London University and had studied under James Windibank. He wanted very badly to be chosen as a member of the expedition, but Windibank turned him down. Instead, Weatherby was chosen and Travis was furious. So there you have the motive for two of the murders.
And what of his motive for the murder of Turnbull?
Evidently, Travis had written a vicious article questioning Dr. Turnbull's credentials to lead the expedition. Turnbull's response was quite harsh, probably powerful enough to drive an odd duck like Travis to murder.
Very impressive, Holmes.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Round of applause for Holmes. That was interesting. I mean, only 50 points off. I guess it wasn't too bad. Kind of did a little bit of searching, but felt pretty good about that. I was pretty short, but I felt like I got the job done, you know. I did pretty okay. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this game. It's fun, though. I like these Sherlock Holmes games. I always like playing them. It was pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little chill little playthrough I did. So if you have a great day, enjoy, beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you all in the next video, probably, which will be later, but will still be soon. Yeah. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Listen to my music, SoundCloud. Follow me on Twitter. Like this video. Dislike this video. Well, if you dislike the video, you should still like it. Instead, share this video around. Get your friends. Subscribe. Buy my shirt. That's all I got. See you.
She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. Call me fantastic, touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Smooth, just like a silk. Soft and cuddly, hug me up like a quilt. I'm a lyrical lover.